I have a list of easily 9 things that are under $25 that are extremely useful for RVing. And some of these things, we have used the snot out of them. I don't know why I said that. None of these things actually contain snot, but we've used them a ton. So let's dive right into the list. And the first one we have is a tool. This is the 11-in-1 Klein Tool. So it has so many things just in one unit. It's great to be able to grab. So we have 2 different sizes of flathead, 2 different sizes of Phillips, 2 different sizes of the Robertson square bit. Thank you, Canada. And then we also have a Torx bit in there. And then when you take these out, you also have a nut drive on there. So comes in extremely handy having 11 tools in one, and having that square bit, the Robertson square bit on here is so handy. When you're going around, you just need to hand tighten something. I do have all these bits that work for my drill in addition to this screwdriver. But there are things like the plastic fenders on the RV that should be hand tightened and not torqued down with an impact driver so that you're gonna crack that plastic. So having something like this is just really easy. I have multiple bits. I don't have to think about where all these different tools, the representation of these, I can just grab one tool and have them all there. Next up, this is me thinking I can make a clever transition. I should know better than this. I literally just stabbed my hand. But if I would have had it on the Robertson, thank you Canada, square bit, I wouldn't have stabbed myself. Wouldn't have hurt as much. Next up is rechargeable batteries. Having a rechargeable battery is great because you don't have to have so many batteries on hand. I try and keep 4 extra on hand than what I typically need, because remotes and just there's so many things that seem to take AA and AAA batteries. It's nice to not have to throw those away and always be buying batteries. I like to have rechargeable batteries for the AA and the AAA size, so that way anytime we have a remote or something that needs a battery, we take out the batteries that are dead, we put them on the charger, we take the ones that are on the charger and put them in the device, and you're back up and going in no time. You're throwing away less batteries and you're not running out of batteries. That's the thing that I like. And our third thing is something that takes the batteries. So this is the Govee. This is I always mess it up, the thermohygrometer. So this gives you the temperature and the humidity in a room. This one is more expensive than 25 bucks, but they have a little brother to this guy that doesn't do Wi-Fi, but it does Bluetooth. So when you're in the RV, you can use it in the fridge, you can use it in a bay, you can use it anywhere that you would like. This one will give you updates. If it gets too hot, it'll send it over Wi-Fi. So even if you're not at the RV, but the little brother of this guy doesn't do that. I use these all the time, especially when we're having problems with the fridge or something that I'm trying to diagnose. I can have this in there and never even have to open the door or anything like that. So this is very handy. Okay, on these next 2, my wife helped me make this list, and these are 2 that she absolutely loves. The first one is this map, and it's useful for a couple of reasons. Number one, we use pins in it to show where we have been, which we absolutely love. We do different colored pins for the different times or different trips that we've gone on. It's great to be able to look back at this and be able to remember where we've been and what we did. It's so much fun looking at those. And then it's also great for even planning the trips. I know we have tons of resources available to us to help us plan trips on the computer, but it is really nice to be able to step back sometimes and see how things are laid out. And it might even change where you travel and what you do or how long you spend in an area, just kind of stepping back and looking what might be there. So this map is definitely one that we love. Now, the second thing that my wife loves are these Hydro Flask cups. Any birthday, Christmas, holiday that she can ask for a present, she's been asking for these Hydro Flask cups, trying to build up an entire set for us inside the RV. And she likes them because they're different colors. The thing that I like about these cups, she likes this too, but they're great for hot and cold. So in the summertime when you're putting ice in your cup, it's not going to be sweating everywhere. We don't like a cup that sweats. And if you want to use this for something hot, it's insulated, so you can use it for hot drinks. They even have a lid that goes on there, so if you wanted to keep whatever's in there hot longer, you can use it that way. So very useful cup. My wife's been trying to collect all the different colors, so that way it's kind of nice too, because you pick a color for the day, you have that cup, and they're all kind of color coded, so there's not cup swapping amongst the family. You know which color is your cup for that day. Very handy cup for RVing. Now this next one is nothing new, but what I learned makes this one more valuable, and it's a 2-way radio. So when we're coming to a place and backing in the RV, we'll usually default to our phones first because that's going to be easiest, hands-free, and all that. But you don't always have cell service, and that's where this comes in really handy. So backing in the RV, sometimes we'll bring these if we're going on a hike with a group, but I didn't know that they opened up some of the bands so that you don't need a license for some of the longer range. You are restricted on the amount of wattage that you can use for that, but we have more powerful radios now than we did in the past. So these are pretty old, so I'm going to be updating these. And you can also get them for under that $25 mark with a weather radio on there, which can come in really handy as an emergency for RVers. We go to new places all the time. You may not know what the typical weather is like in that area, and having a weather radio can come in really handy in an emergency situation. That wasn't exactly accurate how I said it. I'm not looking to make this a tutorial on frequencies for radios, but they did open up more frequencies to be able to use for non-licensed people, but it is going to be at a lower wattage. So this is a 1 watt radio that I have, and we can step that up to a 2 watt. So anyways, I'm going to give some recommendations on what we're probably going to be switching to and replacing these. The other thing I don't like about this one is it has a base that it has to sit in to recharge, which is fine. I love that it has a rechargeable battery, but that base doesn't always work good for in the car, and if the battery dies when it's in the car. The ones that we're going to be upgrading to next time, you're just going to be able to plug a USB cord directly into the radio and not need a base for this to sit in to charge. So we have good options out there available. I'm going to put links down in the description to everything that we're talking about in this video, and I'll pin it in that first comment, so it's just real easy to find. Click on the link and go to the product. Okay, the next few are going to be outside. Let's do a little bit of a lightning round. First up, wheel chocks. I don't really need to explain them other than we love these way more than the plastic yellow ones that we had before that would get crushed and or blow away. Next up is RV awning track hangers, where you can slide them right into the track. You can hang lights up here. You can do pretty much anything you want. But did you know that these come in like a nylon webbing, so you can have them roll up in there? You take the S-hook out and you can just roll them right up with your awning, not having to pull these hangers out each time. Here's a useful one. It's an LED camping lantern. So you can charge this up to be able to reuse it. You can also charge your phone off of this. Has different colors. You can hang it. You can set it on the table. Lots of different areas that you can use this around the RV. Now here's one that I really like, and it's the pop-up fire pit. Now I know that the smokeless fire pits are really trendy right now, but this one packs away really easy, and you can find them cheaper than you can a smokeless fire pit. This one's more expensive because it's bigger, but you can get one that's the same idea for under $25. And I want to pack this away. It can go into the size of a bag of a typical camping chair, so really easy to be able to throw on the RV and store and pull out when we need it. We don't always need it. Sometimes you can use the fire pit at the campground or the dispersed area, but when we need our own fire pit, I love being able to pull this out and use it. We can even use this over grass. It has a shield underneath it, so it's not going to kill the grass from the heat from the fires. So pretty nice idea. Now this is obviously just scratching the surface of all the gear that we have for the RV. If you want to see the video of everything we have in our storage bay, you can check that out. If you want to see everything we keep in our truck for RVing, you can check that out as well. And I'll put a link to all the gear that we have tested and use and recommend for RVing. I'll put that down in the description. So that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. So as always, hope to see you on the road, but if we don't, hopefully we will see you next video. Take care. So my wife just watched the video and she asked me, why do I call this the Robertson Square Bit Thank You Canada every time I talk about it? Because it's kind of like an inside joke. Now, every time I've mentioned it on the channel, I've always had a comment that, hey, that is the Robertson Square Bit, call it by its name, and it's from Canada. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's a better bit than Philips. So from now on, the name for me is the Robertson Square Bit Thank You Canada. That's its full and final name.